mess up our flow. So just take a couple deep breaths in and out. We're gonna need a band for today's class. Just do a couple breaths like this. Good. Inhale. Make yourself tall. Exhale. Relax the shoulders, right? See if you can release some of that tension from your shoulders and your neck on the exhales here. And relax. Good. Breathe. Keep your hands on your lap. Breathe in. Chin down on the exhale. Right? Move with your breath here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Relax your jaw. And we'll do some rolls now. So this time with your inhale, roll to one side, bringing your ear to your shoulder, just doing some nice little semicircles. Exhale, bring your chin down. Inhale, lift to the other side. Exhale, come back down. And again, you can just move at your own pace here. Feel all of those muscles in the back of your neck, into the side. And as you move, you'll feel that stretch just wrap around your neck from side to side. And we're just continuing to breathe. One more on each side. Good, and we're gonna look straight ahead. And this time, keep your chest nice and proud here, looking straight ahead. You're gonna rotate from side to side. So just go until you can't go any further. If you'll hold it for a second or two, and then switch. And now you're going to continue to do these rotations from side to side, but once you can't go any further, I want you to bring your chin down and almost try to look at your back pocket, or if you had a tail, you're going to try to look down towards your tail. We're just adding a little bit more movement to this. So we rotate and then kind of peek over. You really have to use your eyes here. There are muscles that are connected to the movement of your eyes as well that live in the back of your neck that help you rotate your head. So as you move your eyes from side to side, these muscles start to engage to help you rotate your head, because our head tends to go where our eyes are going. And good, just finish off that last one there. Okay, place your hands on your chest. We're gonna lift the chin up. Feel a stretch through the throat. And relax. So you're just gently pulling down as you lift up. And you can start to play around with this one. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll tilt my head over to one side and then lift. You can do a little bit of a rotation. So instead of looking straight ahead, I'm just looking off to the side and then looking up. So you can play around with this. Look off just to the side, straight up. So yeah, you can do a little bit of rotation and then extension, or you can tilt your head, bringing your ear to your shoulder, and then lift up too, and that also changes the nature of the stretch. So just play around with that, play with some combinations of the movement. And again, you're always just pulling your hands down and away from the movement of your chin. You can add a little bit more to this by keeping your tongue glued to the roof of your mouth or your lips sealed. Right, and good, come back to center whenever you're ready. We'll do some gentle rotations with the head, and I always like to think of making myself as tall as possible here, creating a little bit of space between each vertebrae. Decompressing the spine. to change directions. Relaxing the jaw. Just thinking more about movement here, less about stretching. Making this movement nice and smooth and accessible. Alrighty, and finish off that last one. Look straight ahead. Let's get the hands just on the back of the head here. And we're gonna take a deep breath in, squeeze the shoulder blades together, really open up these chest muscles here. On the exhale, you can relax. Okay, inhale, push the sternum forward. Try not to overextend at the lower back. So you don't want to push your belly button forward too much. You're thinking more about pushing your chest forward, keeping your belly button in place. And one more. And relax. Good, shake it out. Let's get the hands on top of the shoulders like this, and then with your elbows, you can start to draw some little circles. That's gonna help you move your shoulders. And through this first round, we're just thinking of getting all these joints nice and lubricated, change directions. Two more. Okay, check it out. We're gonna reach in front and I want you to just grab your elbows like this. Good. And now you're gonna see if you can grab your elbows from behind. Now this may not happen, trying to get to touch your elbows from behind your back. So if you need to, you can grab onto your wrist like this, but again, we're aiming to get those elbows to touch. Or it's not the elbows to touch, but to grab your elbows. So just alternate back and forth here, maybe spending a little bit more time in the back. Right behind your back, you can also just grab onto your forearms. So if you find the hands, you can interlace your hands, you can grab your forearms, but eventually with the goal of trying to get further and further. Good. Back and forth here. Do it a couple more times. One more. Okay, shake it out. Now, we're gonna reach overhead and behind the back. Again, you're gonna try to touch your fingertips here. May not happen, that's okay. Make sure that you can just breathe comfortably through this and switch. So now the other hand's gonna come from overhead, the other one's gonna come from underneath, and you're trying to connect your fingers as best you can. Nice proud chest. I always like to try to take a full breath in and out there. So get to this position and then just breathe. Good, shake it out between. And very nice. Not easy to do. Let's get the palms together, breathe in. And just open up the arms. It's good morning stretch, yeah. Palms together again, inhale. Think of squeezing those shoulder blades together, behind your back, yeah. You can also think of having your palms facing forward. So you can inhale, and then have your palms facing me. Good, let's do that one more time. Again, inhale, and big exhale. Very good. Okay, shake out the shoulders. Let's move right into the spine here. So hands on your knees, we'll do some gentle cat-cows. So you're rounding out your spine, tucking your chin into your chest, and then lifting your chest up, chin up towards the ceiling. Think of lengthening from the base of your chin all the way to your pubic bone. What really matters here is everything in between. So just take your time, make sure each segment of your spine is getting a little bit of movement. Let's do that one more time in each direction. And good, bring yourself back to neutral. We can go into a little bit of a wider stance here. We're just gonna reach both arms straight overhead. So keep your elbows straight as possible, and you're gonna reach and make yourself as tall as you can. So you're pushing your butt into the seat, and you're gonna try to make yourself as tall as possible, and then take a nice full breath in and out here. Relax the arms. Good. I'm gonna just turn to the side so you can see. So here we're lifting. Get your arms up as tall as they can. So they may get stuck around here. The goal is to get them straight overhead. And if you're really flexible, maybe bring the arms backwards a bit too. And relax. Okay, the big thing with this one is to make sure that you're not leaning back or making sure you're not overly arching the low back. So you want to keep a little bit of strength in your core as you're doing this, and focus on opening up the upper part of your torso, the thoracic spine. Okay, so here, get your chest as proud as you can, look straight ahead, and then pull, stretch out those arms, and relax. Good, okay. Hands in between your thighs like this. You're going to bring your chin down to your chest, and then one vertebrae at a time start to roll down towards the floor. You don't actually have to touch the floor, so just go as far as you feel comfortable. And yeah, you want to be very dangly here. And then you're going to slowly stack back up, one vertebrae at a time. The last thing that will come up is your chin. Good. So you'll do that again. So think of like a slinky if we're kind of coming, folding over one section at a time. Right, heavy arms, heavy head. Those arms and head will pull you straight down. And then as you come back up, you're stacking each one of your vertebrae up on top of each other. Move nice and slow. Sometimes I do this from standing, right? You can also hold a little bit of a weight between your hands, and it's actually very useful because the weight will pull you down gently. This is called a Jefferson curl. And slowly make your way back up. Good. Very nice. Wiggle around your spine a bit. And we'll do a nice lateral reach now. So you're just reaching overhead. Make sure you're not looking at the floor. Nice stretch to the side of the body. You can really extend your fingertips. Add a little bit of breathing to this too, so you can inhale as you reach, open up those ribs. Exhale to return. Inhale as you reach. Exhale to return. You can put your hands on your hips or across your lap. One more time on each side. Inhale. Exhale to come back. Inhale. Exhale to come back. Good. Right now you're going to reach behind like you're reaching for something in the back seat of your car. So turn your head and then return. You can place your hands back on your lap. And again, you can turn your head first and then reach with your arm. Take your time here. Turn and reach. Feel free to also just wiggle your arm around a little bit too, get a little bit of movement through the shoulder. Good. Turn, reach back. Move your hand around, up, down, side to side, circles. One more time. Reach. And return. Very nice. Good. Finish off that last one. Let's get our hands across the chest like this. Keep your elbows glued to the torso. And we're going to do some gentle circles. So try to keep your hips on the seat. So you're not lifting your butt up off of the seat in any way. Your hips stay glued to the seat and you're just moving that upper part of your torso. Good, let's change directions. Think of moving your heart around in a circle here. So in the middle of your chest, move it around. Good. One more rotation. Very nice. Okay, let's go down, do some hip mobility here. So let's just start with some high knees, lifting the knees up, getting those hip flexors to work. All right, we want our hip flexors to be nice and strong. Good. Let's hold. So lift and hold for 3, 2, 1. Relax. 3, 2, 1, switch sides, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Good, one more time on each side, 3, 2, 1. Lift up a little bit higher, really compress, 3, 2, and 1. Good, choose a side, you can use your toe, have a nice light touch on the ground, and draw some little circles on the ground. All right, you can just move the leg, but if you feel like it, you can also start to get the torso involved here, moving the torso in the opposite direction. So you just have the freedom to move in a larger way. Change directions, same leg. You can hover your foot if you'd like, but I like to just keep a nice light touch on the ground. Focus on the movement in the knee and in the hip. Good, let's switch to the other leg now. And if you want, you can always support yourself on your seat, place your hands on your lap. Good, let's change direction. So same leg, different direction. Keep breathing. Excellent. Good. Go back to the other leg. We're going to keep that leg straight. Point your toes. Lock out your knee, lift the leg up, maybe not too high, and we'll do some circles. So you're moving from the hip joint right now. Good, change directions, little circles. So no bending the knee here, moving from the hip. Good, you can relax for a second. Keep that same leg straight. We're gonna lift up again. And we'll do some ankle circles now. So now your leg isn't moving at all, it's just the foot and the ankle rotating. Nice and slow, nice and smooth. Good, change directions. Good. Relax. Switch to the other side. So now we'll start with those hip circles. You're going to keep your leg straight, point your toes, lift the leg up a little bit, moving from the hip. So the entire leg is moving here. Good. Change directions. Okay, you can relax for a moment. Keep that same leg straight. Lift up a little bit, and we're just enough so that you can freely move your ankle. And we're going to do some ankle rotations. Notice the leg isn't moving at all, it's just the foot and the ankle. Good, and we're going to change directions now. Big circles. Now we're going to go into a nice wide stance. So sumo stance like this, and then try to just step out a little bit. You're almost straightening out your legs, but you do still want a slight bend. The straighter your legs are, the more you're going to feel this hamstring stretch. The more your knees are bent, the less you'll feel that stretch. So play around and see what feels best for you. You're going to keep your back nice and straight, hands across your chest, and then lead with your belly button. So keep a nice proud chest. You'll start to feel that hamstring stretch and the adductor stretch, the inner thighs. Hold it there for a few seconds and then use your feet. So drive the soles of your feet into the ground. If you need to, you can support yourself on your thighs like this, even just resting your elbows to come down. But if we want to keep this a little bit more active, we're going to keep our hands across. All right, so common mistakes that I see here is people start to round their upper back, or they reach a limit where they can't go any further, so then they compensate by rounding the rest of the way. Once you can't go any further without that compensation, that's just really the limit for you. And then you're gonna come back up. Let's do that one more time. Right, you'll reach a limit where you can't keep your back straight anymore. That's where you stop. And then drive up, very nice. Okay, so let's go back to those high knees. Lift up, really compress here, and come back. Lift, and back. Lift, and back. Lift, back. This time we'll hold for 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good. You can also play around with a little bit of internal and external rotation up here. Yeah. Good. Come up, holding it. Just wiggle the leg in and out. Lift. A little bit of rotation. Good. One more time on each side. Lift. And one more. Good. Okay. Choose a side. I'm going to draw some circles on the ground with the big toe. And you can put your hands on your waist. You can support yourself on your seat. Change direction. Same leg. Good. Okay. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Other side. Good. Change directions. And good. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Go back to the other leg, straight leg circles. So you're lifting up a little bit and we're using the entire leg to make some circles. 2, 3, 4, one more, 5, change directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. You can relax for a moment. Keep the same leg straight. We're going to do our ankle rotations now. So just lift up enough to do some ankle circles. Take your time here. 2 more. Good. And change directions. Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, sorry about that. I am recording this class though, so I'll pop it up onto YouTube right after. And relax. Switch to the other side. Sorry, so we'll start with our ankle, the hip circle. So the entire leg is moving. Change directions. Really feel those hip flexors working, feel the quads. Good, relax. And we'll do some ankle circles now. Good, change directions. Okay, good, and relax. Now we're gonna go back into this called a seated good morning. Wide stance. The straighter your legs are here, the more you're gonna feel that hamstring stretch. We're gonna treat this a little bit more like a stretch and less of a movement. So if you want, you can use blocks. I'll just grab like a bolster here. You don't necessarily need them, especially if you can touch the ground. But yeah, sometimes I like to bring the ground a little bit closer to me. So keep your back straight. You can keep your arms across your chest, but I'm actually gonna reach down towards the floor. So here, I'm reaching, and You know, if you're really flexible, you might be able to come down right to the floor and just put your fingertips down, maybe even your palms. Right, just hold here. You can wiggle back and forth. Right, I can do that, but it doesn't feel great for me these days. So I put my hands on a bolster, and that's also fine. So just because you can do something doesn't mean that you have to. Right, and I'm just wiggling back and forth and just treating this as a little stretch. You can even kind of come up and down. You can even just place your elbows right on your thighs too and just hang out like this. And come back up a little bit, just rest. So we're just in this nice wide stance. All right, again, we're gonna come back down, keep the back straight. This is also why I like the bench too. You can use a bench for something like this where you can straddle the bench and then just come down and do the exact same thing. Even drop the elbows down like this and get the same type of stretch. So there's lots of options for this movement. If you don't have a bolster like I do, you can use a step stool, a stack of books, an ottoman, yoga blocks, anything that just feels sturdy enough to stack your hands on. Yeah, and for those who are just joining in here, I'm recording this class, so I'll pop it up onto YouTube and share it with everyone after, along with a list of other longer classes that I've recorded more recently. Alrighty, and again, to come back up, make sure you're using your legs, so press the soles of your feet down into the ground. Good. Now, if you have a resistance band, you go ahead and grab that. If you don't, that's okay. You can still follow along with a lot of the movements. So just do it with the intention of having a little bit of resistance. You'd be surprised how valuable that can be. So grow relatively wide on the band here. So you're gonna hold the ends of the band, put a little bit of tension, and we're gonna do some pass through. So you're gonna come back, keep your arms straight. You might get stuck at a certain point, so then come back. You can do this standing as well. So you're reaching up. If you can go all the way around, that's great. Play with that. Okay, I'm gonna show you some other options here. Now, if you're finding this is way too easy, grab a little bit closer. If you find that this is hard, go further apart. You wanna keep your arms straight. Now, if you have a broomstick, or I just have a little dowel here, you can go wide on the dowel as well, and we can do some pass-throughs this way. But like I said, you can go here. Once you kind of get stuck, just come back. You don't have to go all the way down if you're not able to. One more time, and good. Okay, next one, arms out in front. Good, proud chest. I want you to think of squeezing oranges in your armpits, right? Or thinking of putting your shoulder blades down into your back pocket, and we're going to pull apart. By thinking of engaging the lats, that's what we're doing when we're squeezing oranges in our armpits, it takes the load off of these neck muscles. So you don't want to be shrugging your shoulders here. Keep those shoulders down as you pull apart. Sorry, whatever, the opposite of shrugging. Good. Pull apart. Even just visualizing this movement without a band can be quite valuable. Yeah, and straight. Move with intention here. And very nice. Okay, whew, shake out the arms, move the neck around. We're going to switch the grip up here. So right now I'm kind of holding like this, like you're holding a cup of coffee. Okay, and then you're going to step on the band. Try to make it centered as much as possible. Keep your elbows close to your torso. You want a nice, again, proud chest here. Pull, bend at the elbows, and relax. Pull, slow release. Don't let that arm snap back. So if you have dumbbells, you could just also use your dumbbells here instead. Release. Okay. Try your best not to have your elbows move forward. So your elbows will stay glued and you're just bending from the elbows. Don't push them forward. Come back. So just pull up and return. Very simple movement. One more time. And release. Very good. Okay, shake it out. We'll go back to those pass-throughs now. So wide on the band, keep a little bit of tension. And we're gonna bring the arms back. Once you can't go any further, you're going to come back. If you can go all the way, go all the way. Open up, turn. Okay, if that's feeling easy, bring your hands a little bit closer together. Look straight ahead. You'll notice that it's really easy to develop a lot of tension in the neck as you're doing this. So just make sure the neck is nice and relaxed, and really make sure the shoulders are doing all of the work here. Good. One more time. Again, just go to wherever that limit is. Come back. Good. Shake, shake, shake. We're gonna do our pull aparts. So here we're making sure that we're not shrugging the shoulders. You're gonna keep the shoulders down as you pull. Shoulders down, proud chest. Two more. Very nice, good, okay, shake up the neck, relax the shoulders. We'll place the band on the floor now. Okay, make sure it's even, make sure it's underneath your arches. Just, we don't want that band to snap back at you. Come up and control on the way down. You can come up a little bit faster, and then you're gonna go slow on the way down. That's where you actually, it's on the way down is actually where you develop most of the strength. Most people think it's on the way up, but it's actually what we call the eccentric phase, right? The deloading, slowing it down. Good, slow it down. Breathe out. Good, let's do that 2 more times. Pull up, release, and pull up, and release. Very nice. Good, okay, place the band off to the side. We're gonna go from a seated position to standing. We'll sit to stand a few times here. So plant your feet on the ground, shift your weight forward. Use your hands if you need to, but if not, you can have your hands out in front. We're gonna stand up nice and tall. Good, now your hips will come back. Bend your knees, use your hands if you need to, and place your butt right on your seat gently. Come up. You might have to play around with your foot position too. Sometimes it's not a matter of the level of strength that you have in your legs, but if you're, like, let's say if your feet are too far out, you're gonna have a really hard time getting up. So you might need to bring your feet a little closer together. Sometimes if your feet are too close together, it feels uncomfortable. So maybe you wanna try a little bit of a wider stance too. So play around, everyone's bodies are different. See what feels best for you. Good, and we'll do one more. Stay standing, good. Feel free to bring your chair to the front. You can hold on if you need to on the side, or you can just hold on to the wall if you need it. Okay, so feet about hip width apart. We're gonna do some soft bends in the knees here. So your hips are not moving. You can even put your hands on your hips, and you're just pushing your knees forward and down. So to the side, you see I'm pushing forward and down, but notice my torso actually stays upright here. So you can imagine you're resting a glass of water on your head, putting a little bit of pressure into the knee joints. Good. Might feel a little bit of heat, a little pressure, but you don't want anything sharp or sudden onset. All right, think about what happens to your knees when you go down the stairs, right? When you go down the stairs, one knee is gonna be bending like this as you reach your other leg forward. So we want our tendons and our ligaments and our muscles to have the capacity to withstand the weight of your body as you're going down like this. Good. Let's add a little bit more movement here. So now I'm gonna push my knees off to one side as I bend. Really, really gentle. Kind of think of skiing a bit. Alternating. So primarily the knee is a hinge joint, but it does have a little bit of a capacity for rotation. So we also want to make sure that we're training that as well. But you can see I'm not being super aggressive with it here. I'm not going to the point of pain. Notice your ankles are also moving when you're doing this too. Your knees and your ankles work together really well. We're adding just those angles. And if you look down, you should see your knees moving right past your toes. Right, so I'm just going straight again. My knees are driving over my toes. Now, if this feels okay for you and you want to stay here, just keep doing this. You can maybe add in some of these side to side movements, but if you feel like you want to try it on one leg, you can do that too. And this is where I would suggest maybe holding on to something for support. And you're going to imagine you're going down the stairs. So you're going to bend one knee. The lead leg is just going to tap the ground. You can tap with your toes. If you feel like you can go further, you can tap with your heels. I'll just turn so you can also see this way. See, my knees are bending over my toes. It's the same movement as from doing it with both legs on the ground. Now it's making it a little bit harder. So just do that a couple times on one side. And if you want, you can obviously work on your balance here too. Switch sides. Imagine you're just going down the stairs. Keep your hands on your hips. You can hold on to something for support, the back of your chair if you need to. And I'm really just bending, touching the ground, and then coming back up. I'm not putting my weight forward like this. So all the weight is really being carried by the back leg primarily. And good. Okay, let's just shake up those knees a little bit. There's a lot of pressure on the knee joint. Now, from here, you're gonna tip forward. So you're tipping forward. You're gonna take one leg, you do a little toe tap backwards, and then come upright, toe tap backwards, and just alternate from side to side. Hinge forward, toe tap. Hinge forward, toe tap. That's it. And then you can start to do it in one motion. So instead of just going forward and then reaching back, you can do it together. Good. So you can continue with that movement, or if you want a little bit more of a challenge, maybe hold on to something for support the first time you do it. You're gonna keep your legs straight. We're gonna do what's called a single leg Romanian deadlift. So you're not toe tapping, that leg is just gonna come straight up. And you notice it's almost like I have a tall line from the top of my head down to my heel, and then I come back up. The supporting leg will have a slight bend to the knee. So you have a little bit of a bend in the knee. We're hinging and then coming back up. Try the other side. All right, a challenging movement for the balance here. Tipping forward, reaching the leg back. You don't have to go very far back, right? With time, you'll be able to go further and further and further and then have that control. But at the beginning, just go to wherever you feel like you can maintain this nice tall posture and then come back from there. Very nice. Let's go into a nice wide stance like this. Your toes can be pointing out on a 45-degree angle. Knees out like this. Push the butt backwards, bend at the knees, and then drive the soles of the feet hard into the ground to come back up. Hips back, bend the knees, and up. Good, we'll do that 4 more times. Control on the way down. So notice again, I'm going slow on the way down, just like we did with the bicep curls. Slow and controlled. 2 more. Last one. And very nice, bring those feet back in. You can take a seat if you'd like, or you can stay standing, up to you. We're gonna breathe in. Nice and tall. Exhale. And we're just trying to cool down here. So if you need to breathe a little faster, a little slower than I'm breathing, feel free to do that. I'm gonna slow down that pace of breathing. Think of slowing the heart rate down, calming the nervous system down, and getting the body into that restorative recovery part of the nervous system. Just a little meditation here. Nice, slow, long exhales. Very good work, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. My apologies for the technical difficulties, but I'm glad you were able to come and join the rest of the class.